The talk of the town over the last couple of weeks have been all about the tariffs. In fact, the tariffs have been discussed over the last couple of months, but have finally been implemented. Now, how is this going to be impacting the Pokemon market? Well, firstly, it is. We are going to be seeing a 25% surcharge on all Pokemon products entering Canada. And the first products that are going to be affected, of course, are Journey Together. These products have already been pre-sold to customers, and some of these products which have been pre-sold are now being canceled and customers are not receiving it. Different shops are taking different approaches, and for today we're going to be looking at these different shops and what approaches they've actually taken for their customers with this tariff, as well as explaining the tariff for those of you who don't understand it. Let's dive in. So the first thing we're going to look at here are the tariffs and how they work from a Pokemon perspective. So here is a illustration that I found on Google. You can find it yourself as well. And this one's talking about products in metal manufacturing to a foreign country or whatever, and the cost is $100. So let's change it up and say that, booster box costs $100. Journey Together usually costs $100 US. And they ship it to Canada. We're going to use Canada instead of US. And when it arrives in Canada, we will pay the company that's importing it will pay a 25% tariff. So now the cost of that product is going to be $125, as we can see here. So the booster box is now costing your retailer, say for example, Ken's Games, Hobbiesville, Walmart, or whatever the store may be that what we're going to talk about today. We're going to specifically look at Hobbiesville as well as Ken's. It will cost them $125 to basically purchase this. And this is in US, of course, right? $100 is what goes to the company that produced this product, so Pokemon, and then $25 gets paid to the government. So $125 is now going to be the cost if the booster box was $100, which when you look at it is not a lot of money. Maybe it's $25, but when we're talking about a grander scale, when we're talking about, let's say, for example, $10,000 or $20,000, this amount can quickly climb up. And this is where the issue is coming with some of the retailers, such as Ken's Games, as well as Hobbiesville, who have been recently sending emails to their customers. I was one of the people also who received an email from Ken's itself stating it's what they're going to do with its customers, and I thought it was pretty cool that they took that route in comparison to what Hobbiesville did. Now, I'm not a Hobbiesville customer on the regular, but I did note that they sent an email to their customers as well, and that they will be actually canceling the orders and then reselling at a higher price, or you could pay the extra amount to get the product, that is. Now, personally, I didn't receive that email from Hobbiesville, but there's a lot of people who have, and have given them a lot of bad ratings recently. And here's something on their website speaking to the Journey Together booster box. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Journey Together. This product is affected by the tariff. You will see a price increase. Max 2 per customer. If exceeded, your entire order will be refunded. That is pretty unfortunate. Anything ordered before Jan 13th will be honored at order amount of 6 per person. So it looks like that's the route they're taking. Item will be restocked throughout December and January. If you missed out, release, sign up for a notification to be updated next one. So it looks like they may have changed the route from what people are saying. Based on the website, it's saying that they're honoring anything before January 13th. And if it was more than 2 after that, they're canceling their orders, which is unfortunate. But to be fair to the business, I mean, like, look, if I was running Hobbiesville, depending on the situation and how much money I'm actually losing, I may have also taken this route. So I can't get mad at the company for doing this specifically. You never know. It may even impact them to the point where they may close down. So, or just run out of money. I don't think Hobbiesville is in that position, but based on this, it's definitely impacting them crucially, and they have to take this route at this point. Here's another note from Hobbiesville's website. Effective March 4th, Canada will be charging 25% tariff on made in US products imported into Canada. This will affect a number of products that we currently carry at Hobbiesville, as well as a number of pre-orders that have already been listed and purchased by customers. Due to this, there will be an adjustment on product prices in order to accommodate the increased wholesale cost of products Hobbiesville is required to pay. Hobbiesville reserves the right to increase product prices of pre-orders and current items, cancel orders when the prices increase, is refused to be paid, and adjust other quantities. Thanks for understanding. So again, I'm not too sure what's happening there with that, but it looks like they are going to be putting this 25% surcharge. I don't know if it will impact the orders from January 13th or before. The point is that they're going to be adding that 25% Again, I'm not too sure exactly where. The point I'm trying to make is that for us Canadian customers, the 25% tariff will be added to our journey together, and any set that comes after that, as long as the tariffs stand and there is no changes, of course. So be prepared to pay a little bit more money for Pokemon in Canada. And here's an email that I received from one of the local shops that I also buy from, Kenzen Games. And this one is also in regards to the tariff. And they've taken a little bit of a different approach here, which I think was great and a little bit more customer friendly. We wanted to address the ongoing 25% hike affecting all Pokemon pre-orders, sports cards. While currently available stock in our store will not be impacted, future restocks and new releases will reflect the increased cost. As we receive the invoices for upcoming products, we will carefully assess and adjust pricing. That's a fair statement. I mean, again, at the end of the day, they are trying to help you understand what is going on. For now, our focus is on Journey Together. Due to the timing of the tariff implementation, the product will be affected by the increase. However, we deeply appreciate the support from our customers and community, and as a gesture of goodwill, we have decided to absorb the additional tariff costs for all pre-orders associated with Journey Together booster boxes. This means if you have pre-ordered with us, your pricing will remain unchanged. We are honoring the original cost for all pre-orders. That is an amazing route. Good for you, Kenzen, for doing that. Again, nothing against Hobbiesville. Maybe they can't afford to do that, and we don't want a business to go out of business because of some silliness governments are doing. So again, I get it. Unfortunately, we must also share some bad news regarding stock allocation. Since we are absorbing the tariffs on the entire purchase of Journey Together, we will only be able to obtain 70% of our expected allocation. And that makes sense. At the end of the day, I mean, if a company is going to absorb the cost, they can only purchase so much, right? And basically what they're saying here is, as a result, all orders exceeding 1 unit will have their quantity reduced by 30% to help balance the required adjustment while maintaining the original price points. So at the minimum, you're going to get at least one of your booster boxes. If you've ordered more, then it will be reduced by 30%. If your order is affected, we will contact you directly to discuss the situation and provide compensation. Options may include additional store credit on top of a full refund or a delayed fulfillment if stock becomes available at the original MSRP price point. Fair enough. And you know what? I'm not going to continue reading this. Good on Kenzen for doing this. They're taking the hit for their customers. And you know what? Sometimes you got to do that, especially if you're taking the pre-order approach. If you're a store or a wholesaler and you do the pre-order concept, if you're going to take customers' funds up front, then you also have to bear the hit when you have to sell it at a loss. And good on you guys for doing that. Again, I keep saying that for Kenzen. I really appreciate them doing that because you know what? The community has really been suffering lately with all the scalpers, the minimal product that's been available, and then this tariff now has just completely ruined it for me. My honest opinion with Pokemon right now, if you are new to the hobby or you have been in the hobby for a long time, it may be best to look at other options. And one of the options that I'm referring to is the Japanese Pokemon market. If you're in it for the artwork, it may be best to just order your booster boxes from Japan and just open Japanese Pokemon products for the time being, as the artworks tend to be the same. Most of the cards are in both sets, that is. That's the route that I'm considering now, as Pokemon has become really expensive. And you know what? Maybe I'll start to like Japanese Pokemon cards more. Who knows? The point is that for me specifically, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break with regular Pokemon English sets. I'll still get some here and there if I can get them at decent prices, but nothing where I used to buy, for example, a case or 2 cases of product, because it's just not worth it. And again, once this comes out, usually it was at 140 or 150 Canadian when we were picking it up late last year. Now booster boxes are almost at like 180, 190 on release, and then with this tariff, I don't even know where we're gonna go with it. So my suggestion, if you are okay with just collecting the artwork, maybe it would be nice to take the Japanese approach right now. So that is a quick look at what is going on in the Pokemon market from a Canadian perspective. We are unfortunately gonna have to face a 25% tariff on our Pokemon cards as well as everything else, meaning we are going to be poor in the next 6 months. I'm just kidding. The point I'm trying to make here is that you might want to be cautious with buying Pokemon cards right now, as it is getting a little bit more expensive, especially with these tariffs as well as the scalpers that have come into play. It's just a lot on the market right now. If you want my honest opinion, as I mentioned earlier, it may be best to take a different route and try some Japanese Pokemon cards for the time being, or maybe just take a break in general. Let me know in the comment section below what your thoughts are on this and which store actually took the right approach. I think Kenzen took the right approach. I don't think the Hobbiesville took the wrong approach. I just think that Kenzin maybe took a better approach. I should say it like that. And if you guys got this far in the video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. My name's TRV, and we'll see you next time.